Hello, this is Billy Core from the Nostalgia Mall, and welcome back to Packvember. And in this edition of Packvember, we're with my favorite Packard Bell of all time, the Packard Bell Legend 822 CDT, which is fixing to celebrate its 30th anniversary this December. Well, not this particular one. This one was built in September of '95, so it's actually already 30 years old, but December 5th will be 30 years since my dad brought home our original Packard Bell Legend 822 CDT. And so I'm hoping to make a pretty good video about it for commemorating the 30th anniversary, although I'm thinking about putting it out on Thanksgiving Day, just to make things a little bit more interesting. But one thing I want to do to this computer before I make the 30th anniversary video is I want to fix something that's kind of irritated me about this one for a while. You see, it's never had its original CD-ROM drive in this. Now, this one in here right now is a Packard Bell CD-ROM drive, but it's not from this one, and it's a different model than would have come with this. And again, it's I've had this particular one for 12 years now. Never had the original drive, but earlier this year, thanks to Retro Tech Chris, I got a Packard Bell Legend 994 CDT, which is basically a beefier, souped-up version of this computer. And it had the correct CD-ROM drive that matched not only it, but this one. And so in this video, we're going to try to put this in here and see how it works. Although we are going to have to overcome or just accept one major design flaw with this CD-ROM drive. And that's this cannot read any recorded CDs. CDRs, CDRWs, nothing. Won't do it. But I think I might have a compromise, though, in the form of this beauty, the Backpack CD-ROM drive. This is a CD writer, but it's a parallel port, and it should hopefully let us use recorded CDs on here when we need them. So I'm actually a little bit more nervous about getting it to work. I know it works. I've tried it on other computers before, but it's just a matter of compatibility. Because I have a CF card for Windows 95, which it'll probably work fine for it. But the one for Dawson 3.1, I'm a little bit more leery about. So anyway, enough jabbering. Let's get this open. The one annoying thing about these mini tower Packard Bells is to open them up, you gotta flip them up completely upside down. There we go. Alright, let's take these off. Again, annoying design, but it is what it is. We need both of these off to get to the CD drive. Did not mean to drop that. Flip it back over, for now at least. There we go. I don't really open this Packard Bell up too much these days, just because I usually like to keep things the way they are in here, and it rarely ever has any issues that need fixing, so really no need to open it up on a regular basis. And that's a good thing. This is a very solid computer. For those who remember the first video I did about this computer when I first got it back in 2013, you remember I accidentally dropped it on the floor where old HP Pavilion power supply from the late 90s was sitting. completely crushed the power supply, no longer exists. All it did to this was leave a few little marks. So, yeah. These are tough computers. Okay, I probably should have unhooked it first before I unscrewed it, but oh well. The power connector is always the hardest one, but I got it. There we go. This is a, well, it's actually similar to the one we're putting in here. This is a CR574B. The one we're putting in is a CR581J. This was manufactured June of 1995. So go ahead and slide it in. Oh, it's looking good already. Now, the tricky part is I gotta kind of hold it in place until I get at least one or two screws in. Okay, got it in place. Now to put the last two in here. Okay, we'll plug it up. There's CD audio. IDE. Now for the power, which ran off somewhere. Okay, I'm going to take a huge risk and go ahead and button it back up before we test it. Yeah, I already like the look of that. Alright, got it hooked up as well as the backpack drive. I did that off camera. Let's fire it up. Well, drive lights up, that's a good sign. Oh boy. This is why I shouldn't have put it back together so soon. Apparently I knocked the floppy drive cable loose. Don't do what I do, folks. Okay, take two. It was the power cable that got unhooked from the floppy drive. That actually happens a lot on these. Don't know why I forgot that could happen. Music to my ears. A little concerned it didn't say CD-ROM found. Why do you do this to me? Well, let's just check the BIOS. Well, that driver should work with this one. The only way it wouldn't is if something wasn't connected properly. Okay, it refuses to acknowledge its existence. Just what I was afraid of. Yep, nothing's showing up in Windows either, so for the third time today, we get to take this back apart. One interesting thing I've noticed, the hard drive LED has stayed on this whole time, so yeah. Okay, bizarre discovery. It sees a CD-ROM now. Yep. But the problem is that only on this one CF card with Windows 3.1. This is my Windows 95 CF card. It doesn't seem to work right with the CD drive. I don't get it. But at least I'm onto something now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to image this CF card to my main Windows 11 computer and re-image it to another CF card that'll work better. So I think I'm going to take a nap first. I need one. My back hurts. So age 36 is creeping up close. So after I get some rest, we will resume. Okay, I've got the Windows installation copied to another CF card, almost nearly identical, but one difference is this one actually works properly. And thinking back, it seems like I do remember having issues with different CD-ROM drives on this computer before, with being very, very picky about them, and I guess I found out why that is. It was the CF card. But as you can see, it's showing up now. So let's give it a quick test. Find a CD. We'll just try this CD out. Some Fury Cube. Yeah, I remember the little drive door on our original flopping down like that. And it looks like it's going to be working just fine. I forgot to mention this is a quad speed CD-ROM drive. And now the part that I have not been looking forward to. Let's try a CD-R on here. I don't know why I even bothered trying this. I know it's not going to work, but I just want to show it on video. Games for Windows 95 demo CD. Of course, when this computer was new, when we first got it back in 95, this wouldn't have been an issue because we didn't have recorded CDs back then. I mean, it's at least making an attempt. Yeah, it's making a bunch of weird noises. Computer's trying to lock up. Yeah, I knew this would not be a fruitful endeavor. So yeah, just as I expected. No CDR support. So, let's make an attempt to get this thing up and running. I want to say I have a driver on my server. It's been a couple of years since I've used this thing, and I've never used it on this computer before. Okay. Okay, here's one called Backpack. Actually, I just remembered I've been having some issues with my server installing stuff from it, so I'm just going to copy this to the desktop and run it from here. Hopefully this will work. All right, we'll restart. Okay, it's acting like it sees something. Let's hope it's the backpack drive. Okay, moment of truth. Do we have a drive E now? Oh, we have a drive F. That's good enough for me. So let's try the same CD out on here. This is going a little too well, so hopefully this will work. Now it is going to be a little bit slower being over the parallel port. There we go. It's exactly what I want to see. And we'll try the whole thing. Now, one thing I haven't done with this drive yet is hook up the CD audio cable from the back of the drive to the line in on the computer sound card. I do have a line cable, I just can't remember where I set it down at earlier, but not necessary at this moment. I like this music. Alright, I'm not going to play it, I just wanted to see if it could copy stuff. And indeed it did. Thank goodness. Okay, I booted into the Windows 3.1 CF card. And I already know the built-in drive is working, it's showing up there, but what I want to do is I want to try to get this backpack drive to work in DOS 6.2 and Windows 3.1. Which may be a little easier said than done, but I do have a floppy disk that I think will work. DIR, see what we're dealing with. Set up. Let's try it again. Now, even if this does work, one of my big concerns is going to be the conventional DOS memory. Okay. Yes. Yes to all this. Let's reboot. Alright, starting MS-DOS. Let's see how bad we've ruined this thing. Okay, here comes the internal drive. Okay, it looked like I had 2 drive letters there. That's a good sign. Alright, let's test this out with another CDR. We'll do SimCity 2000 this time. Alright, first things first, let's see if we have the drive. Yes, we do. Drive E. I gotta remember this is going to be a little bit slower. Being on a parallel port. What? Why did Windows crash? Windows is not supposed to crash. Okay, let's see what happens when we do it from a DOS prompt. I do a... Oh, that's not good. It's dead. Yep. I broke Windows. Well, I've tried all kinds of troubleshooting methods, and I just can't seem to get this backpack drive to work properly in DOS 6.2 and Windows 3.1. As you can see right here, I'm in actual DOS, and doing a directory command on it just completely crashed the computer. I do have an older backpack drive with an older, slower drive in it that may work better on here. It has an older driver. Might try that off camera, but don't really feel like fooling with that tonight. But anyway, also, people are probably wondering why I didn't just get a second CD-ROM drive and use as a slave and put it under this drive right here. Well, that would take away from the aesthetic I'm going for this computer. I know it's a weird issue, but that's just the way I am. Maybe if it were another Packard Bell, I may have considered it, but this is my childhood one. I want it to look a certain way. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, this is Billy Core signing off. Thank you for visiting the Nostalgia Mall. Please follow me on social media for channel and project updates. You may also support me on Patreon or as a channel member if you'd like. Until next time, this is Billy Core signing off.